In this chapter and in this session, I'm gonna tell you the best course of business. The minute you see any of the company name which is ending with LTD, how is this private company differ from the public company? Partnership, what happens is you will get more money, and then because there are two people or more than two people, capital consideration, degree of control, and nature of business. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Now in the past so many sessions we got to know what exactly are the forms of business, but in this chapter and in this session I'm gonna tell you the best course of business which you people can go and venture into. That is the types of companies. What is it? Types of companies. Now I'll tell you more about this joint stock company and the other companies, where you will understand what are the different types of companies we have. Now in India we have public company as well as private company. So the question is, sir, is it only in India? No. In the entire world we have two types of companies which are majorly considered as private company and public company. So what exactly is private company and a public company? You need to understand. Here what happens is, the same way the joint stock company, whatever the features are, it is a feature of a public company. A little difference is there which we consider it in the private company. Private company means where few people are coming together for a main objective of getting profit, or it can be any objective which they really want to go with. But the thing is, everybody need to aim at that, and then they'll register the company in the registrar office and they will actually go with the business. And public company is exactly the joint stock company which we have learned in our session 11 and session 10. So here what exactly are the difference between private company and public company you are supposed to understand. So in private company what happens is, we are supposed to go with what? There is criteria of minimum members and maximum members. So I'll tell you more about this minimum and maximum, how they are differentiated. In the next slide we have something like the comparison between public company and private company. What exactly you need to know is, at the end of the name the company will be like this, right? Private, PVT limited. So that is called private limited. And for a public company we usually go with what? LTD. That is, the minute you see any of the company name which is ending with LTD, now PVT is not there, that is a public company. Now this is called a public company, and this one is a private company. Okay, now what you are supposed to do is, go to your kitchen or any kind of a place where you find any of the company product. Now you need to understand the company and what exactly the type of company it is. Take the product and you are supposed to just read what is there in the labeling, that is a tag. And if you feel that that particular company is written has so and so XYZ private limited, that means that company is a private company. If it is, the ending is limited, now private is not there, that company is called public company. So what you should do is, it's a homework for you, 10 of the listed private companies and public company you are supposed to just take it, and then you are supposed to write those names. So let's go with the next one, that is a comparison. That is, we'll compare how is this private company differ from the public company. What are the features which private company has, and what are the features which public company have. So here when we go, it's a difference between public company and a private company. It's a short question for you. What are the differences between the private company and public company? Now I have listed few of the differences. The first thing which you need to know is, the basis is members. Now how many people can actually form a company? Now the first thing, we will go with the public company and then we will go with the private company. All these features, how is that? Who has done this? This is done by the special act. What is that act? We call that as the Companies Act. Now I have told you many a times, the Companies Act was 1956, and now it is a revised Company Act which is called as 2013, which is at 2013. So we have 1956 Companies Act as well as 2013 Companies Act. Now whatever we are actually going with, we are following 2013. That means after, that is 2013 onwards, we are following which act? We are following 2013. Before that, what is that we were actually practicing? We used to practice 1956 Companies Act. Now in these acts, they have written what are the rules and regulation, the procedure, the registration, the fees, and we call it as MOA, Memorandum of Association. I have spoken about Memorandum of Association in my previous classes, and there is one more called Article of Association. What is it? Article of Association as well as Memorandum of Association. Now we'll go with the basis. The first thing is the public and the second is the private. So understand this carefully. First thing is members. In a public company, the minimum members are 7. How much? They are 7 in number. That means, sir, if there are 6 people and they want to start a public company, can they do it? No, they cannot do it. They need to have the minimum criteria is how much? 7 members. And the maximum is unlimited. See the word unlimited. What is that unlimited shows us? That is what it is called public company. Anybody can be the member of that company. Anybody can actually be a part or the member of that particular company. So what is the minimum? Minimum is 7 and maximum is how much? Unlimited. That is the reason we call this company as a public company. We call this as what? Public company. So what is the criteria? That is the maximum is unlimited. The next one, if we go with it, it's a private company. What is it? Private company. Here what happens is, in a private company, the minimum is 2 and maximum is 50 when we go with 1956 Act. When we go with 1956 Act. This is 1956 Companies Act. Now when we go with 2013 onwards, what happens is the maximum, right? The maximum is 200. This is 2013 Companies Act. What is it? So you have this 2 criteria. One is any company which got registered before 2013, what they used to do, they used to practice the maximum limit is 50. That is 1956 Companies Act. Now whoever are actually going with, they are going with maximum of 200. That is 2013 onward. That means even the company which have started earlier than 2013, now because of the revision of the Companies Act, now they can add up how much? Still 150 members as a private company people. Now understand, sir, why is there a difference between this unlimited and here you are limiting? Understand what is the purpose of having a private company. Private company means what? The private individuals who are there, the relatives, friends, or whoever are the people who want to promote a company, now they'll come hands to hand and they'll start and they'll run a business. When they run a business, what happens is whatever the profit is, you are supposed to share with the members, isn't it? Now here what happens? Private, the minute they say it is called a private, now what it is like they don't want other people to come. It's like see example, I'll give you an example here. Private company. Now forget about private company. Private party in the sense what? You will not call anybody who is there in the street. You will call only people whom you know, right? Or the people whom you know plus people who has come there, they also know you. That means what? It is like interrelated. You are connected to each other. Somehow you are connected. Now what happens is in a private company, the same thing. People, that means the members who are the member of a private company, they know each other. That is the reason what happens is they have their own trust, they have their ideology, they have their objective, and they have that entire controlling system. That is why we call it as private company. So you need to have a minimum plus you need to have what? A limited. That is, you need to have a ceiling. That's why we have given what? In 1956 Companies Act, they said that the maximum members to be in a private company is 50, and the maximum in 2013 what happened is they had increased the members, that is 150 members were increased, so now it is maximum is 200 in 2013 Companies Act. The next one we'll go with it is Public is done, private is done, that is the membership is all done. Public, right? What is that you should do? Minimum is 7 and maximum is unlimited. Let's go with the next one. Minimum number of directors. Now see, understand, you need to have somebody called a director. Now what is this director? This director is totally different from the movie director, right? These people are the real officials who will actually lead the company. We also call them as the board of directors. What is it? Board of directors. In my first chapter itself, I have told you that the companies or whatever the business we run, we need to have people who can be the official person to run the company. This is what it is. Minimum number of directors. When it comes to the public company, because the maximum is unlimited, what happens is we need to have 3 directors. How many directors? 3 directors. Because the private company has little more, like lesser than the public company members, that's why we go with 2. We restrict with 2. Sir, why can't be 1? The question is, sir, why can't be 1? Because its minimum is 2 and maximum is 50 and 200. So why can't it be 2? Or why can't it be like less than 2? Understand, whenever you form a company, what happens is the criteria is what? Minimum is 2. So those 2 people only can be the officials as directors. Now they have started it, so they want to go with it. That's why we go with the minimum criteria as 2, which has been listed in 1956 Act as well as 2013 Companies Revised Act. So the directors, the minute you get to know how many members are there for the public or the public is 3 and the private is 2. That is what you are supposed to write. The next one here is minimum paid up capital. Sir, what is this capital? Capital means that is the investment which is done when they start the business. So minimum paid up capital means the members who want to be the public or the private people who want to be the member of a company, they are supposed to subscribe at least this much of amount. That is what is called as minimum paid up capital. They are supposed to pay and then get registered. What is the minimum? That is whole together. It is not one person who will actually give 5 lakh rupees or 1 lakh rupees. It is the entire those people, whoever are the members, they need to raise that kind of a fund. That is in a public, because it is unlimited, everything is more than the private. So the thing is what we have, 5 lakh rupees. How much is the minimum paid up capital? 5 lakh rupees. That is put together all the members. It is not just one member. It is put together the all the members. It is how much? 5 lakh rupees is what the membership is. And here what happens is 1 lakh rupees. The reason here why there is a difference, 5 lakh and 1 lakh. Number of members are less and here number of members are more. The next one here we go with index. What is the word? Index. That means you need to have an index here. Now what is this word? Index of members. There is one more word called registration of members. We call it as ROM. What is it? ROM. Registration of member. Now index of member is there as well as registration of members are there. Now according to 2013 Companies Act, the index of member, IOM, what is this called as? IOM. The index of member, it is compulsory for a public company. That means after every 14 days they are supposed to have this IOM, that is index of member. Now there are many people who want to be the member of a company. In the meanwhile, there are many people who want to go against the company, that is they will exit from the company. Now what is it? The number of people whoever comes in, you need to welcome. The number of people who exit, even that those people you are supposed to welcome. So every 14 days you are supposed to compulsorily maintain their registration as well as the index. But when it comes to the private company, what happens is the Company Act says that it is not compulsory. Now it is up to you whether you want to actually go with or you don't want to go with it. That is what the Companies Act says. So the public is what? It is compulsory. You are supposed to give each and every detail within how many days? 14 days. 14 days you are supposed to actually give. The next one is transfer of shares. I want you people to understand this transfer of shares. I don't want you to see here, but just understand the real gist of it, what exactly it is. What is the minimum numbers? The numbers are 7. Okay, 7 members are the minimum. Maximum is how much? Anybody can be. How is that it is possible? I'll tell you. Supposingly, in a public company there were only 20 people. How many? 20 people. Now 20 people, can they start a public company? Definitely yes, because the first criteria is how much? 7 is a minimum, but now there are 20, so they can start. But the next criteria is how much? They are supposed to actually get 5 lakh rupees from the public. From the public they are supposed to raise how much? 5 lakh rupees. Now understand, they have taken the 5 lakh rupees from the public as a minimum paid up capital. Everything is done. Now they are starting. Directors should be how much? Now they should have 3 directors. How many directors? 3 directors. Compulsory they are supposed to go. Now the thing is, transfer of shares. Understand, 20 can be 40. 40 can be 100. 100 can be 1 lakh. The thing is, how is that they are actually being the members? The reason is, they are the members of a company only because they have something called shares. What is that they have? They have something called shares. And I told you in the last session that people whoever have equity shares, they become the owner of a company. That's why whoever have more share, what happens is they'll actually go and sell it in the stock exchange. Now in the stock exchange, the shares will actually go. Whoever wants to buy the share of the company, that particular person will be the owner of the company. That's why in a public company what happens is there is no restriction for the maximum number. Anybody can be the member, whoever can actually afford for the share. That's why here it is what? Transfer of shares means no restriction. That means yes, you can have transfer of share. You can transfer your share to anybody. So it is what? Yes, you will transfer. Now transfer is possible. What is it? It is possible. Possible in the sense what? It will happen. It is like yes, definitely it will happen. Public company is there so that many people can come. So transfer of share is very easy. There is no restriction at all. But right, but when it comes to private, now understand private, what is it? There is a ceiling. What is it? There is a ceiling. What is a ceiling? 200. Now what happens is, if all these 200 people transfer their shares to many people, what happens is the maximum number is only 200. So many in the sense anybody can buy, right? When anybody will buy, now the same way anybody can sell it. When they will sell it, what happens is more members will happen, but the ceiling is what? 200. That's why what happens is the first people whoever will buy the shares, that is a minimum members or the maximum members who will buy the share, they are not allowed to sell their share or transfer their share to anybody. That is why there is what? Restrictions on transfer of shares. Restrictions on transfer of shares. Okay, so these are the criteria which you are supposed to understand. Why is there no transfer of shares in private company? Because the maximum members are 200 according to Companies Act 2013, and that is why they say that the members whoever are there, and the public where they have actually taken that 1 lakh rupees, that is the members who are given the paid up capital as 1 lakh rupees, they cannot sell their share, they cannot transfer their share because there is a restrictions. Now who has done the restriction? 2013 Companies Act as well as 1956 Companies Act. The last one here is invitation. What is the word? Invitation. You are inviting, right? What is that you are doing? Inviting. Now invitation to public to subscribe the share. See here what happens is we want the public to subscribe the share, minimum paid up capital. Here what happens is you can actually go or you don't want to go. Again I'll tell you, it is not the owner or the promoter who can go with these kind of rules and regulation. Who is the one who is making the rules and regulation? That is the Companies Act. Which one? The Companies Act. Now it is a act. Okay, now the Companies Act says you are supposed to go. Yes, you need to go. It is compulsory. That's why here what happens is the public company, they need to give invitation. Only then public will get to know that there is a company and it is listed. What is it? The word is listed. Okay, I'll just write it here. The word is listed. Now how will the public get to know that there is a company? It is only true when the officially the members and the owners of the company, they actually list their company, everybody will get to know. So the invitation, what is it? Can invite the public to subscribe to its shares or debentures. What is it? Shares or debentures. I'll talk about debentures in the next classes, where you will understand what exactly a debenture is. Now you know what exactly the share is. Share means it's a proof, right, that you have given the money and they have given you the documents. That is called the shares. Now all the documents, that is the shares, right now it is not the written format or type format, it is all demat, that is dematerialized. Everything is digital. Next one, here what happens is, now invitation, what happens is, here I can invite any number of people. The reason is what? The maximum number is unlimited. The maximum number is what? Unlimited. I can give invitation to anybody and everybody. That's why it is compulsory here. But when it comes to private, the ceiling is what? 200 is the maximum. So you can only give invitation to 200 people. So what the Company Act said is, it is not possible for you to give invitation, because you don't know to whom you people are giving, or the minute you give the invitation to somebody, that somebody can give that invitation to somebody else. Now what happens is, you will not get a proper counting. That's why what they say is, you cannot invite. That is the reason. See here, you cannot invite public. It is a private company, so how can you invite public? That is a question from the board. That is, cannot invite the public to subscribe to its shares and debentures. That is what it is. So whomever you want to give, only for those you can give, but not invitation. Invitation is given only in the public company. A very quick recall what exactly we have done. The first thing here is, we go with the members in a public company. You have 7 and the maximum is unlimited. Here private is 2 is a minimum and maximum is 200 in 2013, and 50 was there in 1956 Companies Act. So the next one here is the directors. In the public you have 3 directors, that is a minimum is 3. This is what? Minimum. Minimum is how much? 3. Here minimum is how much? 2. And the paid up capital is 5 lakh rupees in public, and here is 1 lakh rupees from the private. The next one we go with IOM, that is index of member. Yes, it is compulsory in public, it is not compulsory in private. The next one is transfer of share. Now you need to tell me transfer of share. What happens is, in a public, yes, transfer of share will happen, and private transfer of share will not happen. There is a restriction. Why there is a restriction? The maximum is only 200, so you will not transfer the shares. The last one here is invitation to public. The minute you see, understand, invitation to the public. So who will give the public invitation? Public company. Who will not give? Private company. So these are the things which you are supposed to understand. So this chart will give you 8 marks if you write properly. So the next one we go with is choice of forms of business organization. Choice of forms of business organization. Now you need to understand, the business organizations are divided into what? There are, like, the first one, you have sole trader. What is it? The first one is sole trader. Now the second one here what is the first one? You go with sole trader. Okay, now the second one you went with partnership. What is the one? Partnership. This is partnership. Now the third one you went with, we have understood, HUF. So what is this HUF? Hindu undivided family. Hindu undivided family. The fourth one we went was cooperative society. What is it? Society. We went with cooperative society. The fifth one is our joint stock company. Which one? Joint stock company. Joint stock company. While I'm writing, please understand why is that I'm writing all these forms of business, because only then you will understand the real choice of business, that is the real choice of form of business organization, which is a business usually people need to go. there is a comparison statement. So here the first one is sole trader, next is partnership, P is partnership, Hindu undivided family, cooperative society, and the last one is joint stock company. So each and everything you are supposed to calculate what exactly is the best one. The first one is cost and ease, cost and ease in setting up the organization. Understand, sole trader is what, any amount you have you can start a business. Partnership, what happens is you will get more money, and then because there are two people or more than two people, now you get more money and you can start. Here HUF, it is Hindu undivided family. That means what? It is only the traditional family which is there in India, not abroad. It is only in India. This act is only in India. It is not practiced in some other country. It is only practiced in India. Though there are many Hindu who are there out of India, but even they cannot practice Hindu undivided family outside. They can only do it within India. Next is cooperative society. What happens is pool of money. Many people will come and they'll give small money, and then they'll take advantages. Here the joint stock company, what happens is you have huge money because members are too many. Understand, the public and private, there are too many members than all these. What happens is the cost is what? Cost and ease in starting. What happens here? It is easy, but here joint stock company, it is not easy. The reason is what? Too many registration, too many process, too many documents to be submitted. The second one is liability. Now liability, there are two types of liability. One is limited, and another is unlimited. One is limited, another is unlimited. Now sole trader is unlimited, partnership is unlimited, HUF is also unlimited because the karta will go with unlimited. Cooperative society is limited. Joint stock company is limited. So you got to know which is the best one now, right? The next one here is continuity. Continuity means what? How much it can actually go. Can it break in the half, or will it reach? This is what is called continuity. Definitely sole trader, what will happen is continuity will be there until and unless he is making only profit. But the minute he make losses, what happens? He cannot bear by himself. So what happens is the continuity is lesser in sole trader, lesser in partnership, lesser in HUF, but still there are many people who actually they go with HUF because they get more subsidiaries. Here the next one is cooperative society. Yes, until unless there is no scam in the cooperative society, this form of business will actually go. But when it comes to joint stock company, now understand there are many companies who go with a loss, but still they withstand the competition. So here what happens is, comparatively with all these form of business, what happens is joint stock company is the best one because the continuity is more through the public investments. The next one is management ability. Understand, who is the person who manages the things, the owner or the people who are there as a member. Understand, in a sole trader, what happens is the management is done by only one person. So he is like the king, he is the ultimate king. Okay, so who is the king? As a sole trader, because when it comes to management, it is only his decision, not anybody's decision. When it comes to partnership, there are two or more people, so all the people are in the management. Now you need to go back to the previous sessions where I have told you about active partner, sleeping partner, dormant partner, nominal partner, secret partner. Now you'll get to know who are the people who will actually go with management. The third one here we have is HUF. Now in HUF there is a person called Karta. What is it? The person called Karta, and he will be the person who will take care of all the things. The next one here is in the management ability is cooperative society. Now I told you in a cooperative society, that is the person who gets elected, and he will be the person who will manage the all the affairs of cooperative society. When it comes to joint stock company, though the shareholders are there, shareholders are called as the owner of a company, but what happens here is the board of directors is there, right? Board of directors. The board of directors will be the official people who will manage the company's affairs. That means the shareholder will not be able to manage the company, so the board of directors are there who will actually take care of the entire process. So these are the choices of forms of business organization. Still we have three more points, that is capital consideration, degree of control, and nature of business. So I'll go with the same kind of a thing. I'll give all shortcuts to you. The first one was sole trader. Sole trader. The second one, partnership. The third one, HUF. The fourth is cooperative society. Cooperative society. And the fifth one is joint stock company, or that means company. It can be a public company as well as a private company. Now capital consideration, who is a real person who used to go with the capital consideration? That is sole trader need to actually put his capital, right? So it is only his money. When it comes to partnership, what used to happen is partnership, right? What used to happen is two or more people, that is less than 10 people, now they used to actually go with capital consideration. HUF, what happens is, here is the Hindu, what is HUF? Hindu undivided family. Now here what used to happen is, the elderly male person, the karta, now he will actually think about all the capital, and the other member, we call them as co-partners. Now they'll go with those things. Now cooperative society, what happens is, all the members, that is voluntarily associated members, will go with the capital. And joint stock company, now what happens, the members whoever buy the share, the members who want to be the debenture holder or the preference shareholder, now they will be the person. Degree of control, the same thing what we have actually explained in the management. Degree of control, what happens is, sole trader will have more control than anybody in the entire list. Who will have the more control? Sole trader, because it is all his money, his decision, all the things is his. The next one here is nature of business. Now nature of business, the sole trader can actually start any business, but it should be what? It should be legal in the eyes of law. Everybody can go with any nature of business and they can start. Now understand this, these are the real choice of business which many people will go with. That is, they'll understand what are the benefits as well as what are the limitations. Only then you will understand, should I start a business, or I should start a business with my friend or with a company, or make my business as a company. So these all are the comparison statements where you will understand what is the best course of action to start any business. So thank you so much. If you have liked our videos, you are supposed to just like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Vidhyaashram is only for the students, and we are there for you people 24/7. Thank you. I'll see you when I see you.